Hello and welcome to another exciting episode of TimeXtender Tuesdays. My name is Shivam Kapoor and I'm the solution specialist here at TimeXtender. And today we're diving into an incredible, powerful integration that will transform your data strategy. That's right, we're talking about Microsoft Fabric as your operational data exchange or ODX storage for TimeXtender data integration. In today's story, we're looking at our hit TV show Silicon Valley and the company Pied Piper. Their CEO Richard has tasked Dinesh and the intern Gian to help them move to Microsoft Fabric. And Dinesh and Gian are working with their trusted solution specialists at TimeXtender to help them move from on-prem and harness Microsoft Fabric and use OneLake as operational data exchange storage. So this is the architecture diagram that they've come up with to help them move their existing solution and into OneLake. Now let's dive in on how they achieve this. Now let's look at the prerequisites. The first one is to create an app registration in the Azure portal. And secondly is to add a user that does not require multi-factor authentication as the owner of this app registration. Now the third one is to add a platform and enter localhost as custom redirect URI and click configure and then save. The fourth one is to add a secret for this app registration and keep that secret safe in a notepad. We will use this in our TimeXtender web portal while configuring it for ODX storage. And also, don't forget to set allow public client flows to yes. Last step is in the Fabric portal under Manage Access, grant member access to your app registration and the owner non-MFA account. Now, let's see how we got this done. All right, I've created my app registration. Now let's take a look on the app registration. So this is the newly Fabric app registration that I've created. We will use this application ID as well as on the authentication tab. I've created my local host, adding a desktop application, and you can do it right here by adding a platform, as well as we have allowed yes to allow public client flows as well. The next thing is to have a secret created. So this is the secret I've created. I've saved it, and now we are going to use it while we are creating our ODX instance. Now we will open a new tab and go to our Fabric workspace. And we will follow the next step is to, if you have not created a workspace, to create your workspace. This is our workspace right here. And now here in Manage Access is where you will give the owner of the app registration access right here. So here I have given my app registration owner dev test. Make sure the owner of the app registration that you have is the same one that you're giving your access to in your workspace as well. So this is my dev test right here, and I have my dev test right here. As I can see, this is the principal owner right here. After adding your owner of the app registration, let's also remember to add access to the app registration that you have created. I have already done that. As you can see right here, I have my app registration and I've given access to it. Now let's move on to the next step in the process. Now let's look at the implementation steps. The first one is completing the prerequisites. As we have just seen previously, we have to create an app registration and follow the steps that are there in the prerequisites. The next step is to configure the ODX instance for our Fabric Lakehouse storage. The third one is to create the Fabric Lakehouse storage in your ODX in the desktop application. And finally, the last one is run the synchronization and transfer task for your data source so that you can see the data in your Fabric OneLake. Now let's jump into TimeXtender and see how the magic happens. Now we're going to add our ODX instance. We'll go to app.timextender.com, log into the web portal, click here in your instances and add ODX. Let's name it TX Tuesdays Fabric Lakehouse. And here we're going to choose the storage type as Microsoft Fabric storage. And here we're going to give our details. So here we're going to give our workspace name. Let's go ahead and give our workspace name. And here we're going to give TX. That will be our lakehouse name that we will create. Here we'll give the owner of the app registration that we have created. So the owner of the app registration here, and here we will give the password. Once you have entered the password, now here we'll give the tenant ID for the app registration right here. Moving on to the application ID right here that you have created for your app registration. Application ID is also your client ID right here. And now we will add your secret that we have saved and copied in a notepad before. Now we have entered our secret. Now here we can give localhost right here and hit save. Now as we can see, our ODX that we have added in the portal is available right here. Now we're going to open our ODX. As we can see, the data source is already here. The first thing we have to do is authenticate. So right click the ODX and click on authenticate. Now we're going to use our dev test user right here. And here we're going to enter our password. Once it's entered, we're going to sign in to authenticate to add the privileges and permissions. Once it's added and authentication is successful, now we move on to the next step of editing the instance. We will edit the instance right here and create your storage by clicking on the create storage button. Once you have done that, we're going to click on test storage connection to see if the connection is successful. I've already created our storage, so our lakehouse is already created. Now come and let's see if it's created. As you can see here, now we can see the lakehouse that we have created. TX uses LH1 is right here. And now we're going to go back to our TimeXtender and do a synchronize and a full load. So let's go ahead and click synchronize. And now we're also going to click on full load. So before we do that, we're going to go back to our lakehouse. As we can see here, there are no tables available yet since we haven't run the transfer task yet. Now let's go ahead and hit our transfer task. Now let's execute our transfer task. Once it starts in running, once it's successfully completed, we will see our tables in our lakehouse. Now that our transfer task has completed successfully, let's go ahead and look at our lakehouse. Now let's go ahead and refresh our lakehouse. As we can see here, our tables have loaded from our AdventureWorks data source that is connected. So we accomplished successfully configuring our ODX for Microsoft Lakehouse storage, successfully creating a lakehouse from the application, and successfully connecting to the lakehouse from the TimeXtender application. Now this completes our TimeXtender Tuesdays video. Now don't forget to like, subscribe, and watch the space for the next video. See you then. Bye.